Welcome back to the teaching learning. This is Abdullah. I hope you are doing. This video is very urgent for the ECD pedagogy. I have received many messages from the teachers and the teachers asking me several questions regarding this. So a few things I need to share before the exam. The one thing is that all the resources that I'm going to share with teachers, these are according to the study guide. So if anyone who want to compare, so please go through the content and check all these demands with my standards. This is our second thing. Now, first thing. Second thing, the teachers are asking that there's a lot of study materials and we have very limited time for that. Okay, I know it's very limited time because it depends on you that when you are going to book your test date. So it's all about you. So you have to take enough time for that, the preparation. And third thing, that's the few things you should know as a teacher that you practice in the classroom. And these things you should not memorize and not to be worried about that. For example, regarding the teaching the practices in the classroom, developing curriculum, developing a lesson plan. This is what exactly we every day do. And if anybody who's worried about that how to plan and how to develop the curriculum, that's something the different case. Okay. But these are the things, a teacher's job is to teach. And what teaching strategies and teaching approaches he or she is using, that is will be assessed. So this is the thing I need to share with you. So before wasting time, and I thought that I have to share with you the and the fourth thing. Fourth thing is that for ECD pedagogy, we have the two standards are very important. One is the standard 1, and the other one is the standard 5, which is the learning across the curriculum. And the first one is the child development. So this lesson is about the learning across the curriculum. So I need to share a few important things. I'm supposed to be shared tomorrow, but the teachers are very curious and worried about this. So it's better to, I'll be sharing something tomorrow, something else. Okay, so without wasting time, go to the lesson. First I have to share the screen. This is the study guide, ECD study guide. So I'm going to talk about the domain 1. And the domain 1 is talking about the early childhood teachers have a variety of age appropriate and suitable teaching methods. So as I have mentioned several times that each phase of the school has a different teaching appropriate strategies. Each age of the students has a different teaching or learning exposure. So we divided these teaching approaches according to the phases. If a child who's in a KG, we cannot comply the teaching strategy of the middle school. Similarly, a child in elementary cannot be, the taught as the middle school or the high school. So there is the difference in these certain ages, and all the teaching strategies have been developed and prepared by the different educators in order to implement in the classrooms. So this is the one thing. Okay. And the second thing regarding that is domain 1. The early child teachers know the national learning outcomes and international benchmarks. Okay. So this is what exactly I have. Now I want to share my document that I have prepared. So please bear with me. These two things. Now, what are the national learning outcomes and international benchmarks? Your school curriculum is the national learning outcomes. If it is social studies, if it's a math, it's a English, it is a science, whatever you teach. Now the international benchmarks, okay, that at the end of the course, what you are expecting from the students to able to. That's why they have designed certain standards. For example, common core standards, we consider the international standards. Like in science, NGS are the international benchmarks. Okay. So these benchmarks aligned with your subject. And these international benchmark has a certain skills. So one standard covers a lot of the skills. Maybe one of your chapter can consist complete standard. Maybe a standard covers 2 or 3 chapters of your subject. So this thing you should know. Now, the thing is that you don't have to memorize these things. If you already practice how to inline or reduce the gap into the curriculum, or how to design the curriculum and how to implement the prepared curriculum, then you don't have to worry about it. Now, this is what exactly teachers are asking, that national learning outcomes or international benchmarks, okay? So these are not the rocket sciences. These are the things we always practice in the classrooms. So this is what exactly I want to share with you. Now, the second thing is that listening from learning outcomes from domain 1, indicator 1, is the listening skills. Now, listening skills, what exactly is talking about? The listening skills distinguish between listening comprehension, extracting the main idea, classification, deductive thinking, judging the content's validity, and content evaluation. Now, you will be assessed for the listening skills. Now, the listening skills means you are not going to listen. Definitely, you are going to teach in the classroom. Now, while you are teaching in the classroom, your language of instructions are very important. So what you speak or what you are going to teach, it should be very clear. So the language of instruction should be very clear and understandable. Use of vocabulary, use of pronunciations, and audio clarity, while you are explaining the images and all these things. Okay, but my purpose of that the video, that why this is so, how you have to recognize and how you have to differentiate between these listening skills. So this is what exactly I'm going to tell you. So there are this part, you have to stay with me. These are the questions asking that you have to or teachers should know they can easily the differentiate these skills. Okay, so there are the two main types of the listening skills. One is the discriminative listening skill, another one is the comprehensive listening skill. So these are the two main types. Okay, and these types further divided into the subcategories. So first we should know that which type of the listening skills we mostly or we need to focus on it, either discriminative listening skills or comprehensive listening. So the examiner will ask you about a particular listening skills and how you will be evaluated. I will tell you, so stay with me. First things, discriminative listening skills, you are not going to be assessed regarding, because this is the are first developed, it's the early age child. So this is not, we are not going to use in the schools and all, institutes. It can be a body language, can be kind of the voice, can be any kind of the voice that we interact with the children. Now, how we interact with the children. Suppose, at the early age, when a new baby born interacts with the mother, or the mother or father interacts with the new baby born, he or she doesn't understand any language. So we speak with different sounds, different kind of the voices. And what children is doing, or baby is doing, to understand these voices, to recognize these voices. And this are the procedures goes from early child to adulthood. So when you are even in your unconscious or in something, okay, so sometimes we, even not sometimes, usually when a mother or father or anybody or relative, or usually the sound you listen, you can easily recognize that who's communicating with you, or trying to communicate with you. So this is what exactly the discriminative types of the listening. Now, what type of the voices, how you interact with the children. So we don't speak a proper or the formal language with the children. We speak normally, okay? And that's what exactly we need. Second thing is comprehensive listening skills, which is the way of the communication. This is the most important thing that you interact in the classrooms. That can be your, the teaching method, that you can present your work, that you can assign them any activity, you can, make fun of or engage in a different way, the children's. So this is the way you interact with the children. Now, the thing is that, is this a proper way or the understandable way, or children's or students are getting you properly or not? This is the most important. So this thing is very, you have to be very clear about that in order to able use comprehensive listening and therefore gain understanding, the listener first needs to appropriate vocabulary and language skills. Using overly complicated language or technical jargon or expressions, your body language is okay, and gesture, therefore can be barrier to comprehensive listening. Suppose a grade 2 child, if you are using very hard vocabulary, definitely he will be unable to understand. So what you have to do, that you have to use a very reasonable and understandable vocabulary that he or she can, get your message. Now, comprehensive listening skills further divided into different, what your study guide says. Your study guide says this one, Meg, how are you going to differentiate them? This is the one. The first thing is the listening comprehension skills. The ability to understand the spoken language means a child should understand or must understand what teacher instructed him or her. So it will help the children how to work, what to do. So this is exactly how it works. Hear, understand, and respond. If a child is not understanding you, definitely he will not respond to you. So this is the most important thing in the classroom, that the children, your language of instruction is very easy, understandable, and very clear. This is second thing. Extracting main ideas, skills, So when a listener listen to you, that he or she or a child can easily understand the purpose of the communication, what teacher want to ask to do. This is the most important thing and very clear. You should be very clear about that. Now, there are the three specific types, that you should know. One is the informational listening, that you speak and learn. You just want to share a kind of the story in the classroom. Second thing, a critical, this is the most important thing. So for the test, this critical listening to evaluate and analyze. So how you want, assign a different activities, let the children think critically. A kind of, a hypothesis. You can assign them an experiment. And here, which things will be used? Like the deductive approaches, abductive approaches, and inductive approaches. So these things can be approached that the students can take a process for that. That they can start from, from the information and go to the judgment. So you can refer for the other videos, deductive, inductive, and abductive reasoning. So this is what and therapeutic listening to understanding feeling and emotions. So sometimes we don't speak and we express our attitude and behaviors through our emotions. So this is kind of this, but it's hardly it's not a kind of the the language of instructions. So we try to be good with the children, and we always to be good with them. So this is what exactly I wanted to share with you, and how the examiner will assess you. They can give you a kind of the scenario, and they might ask you about that which type of the listenings are these. Is it a comprehensive or communicative? So you have to be very clear for the instruction. Is it an informational listening? It's a critical listening. It's a therapeutic listening. It's a deductive approach. Second thing, it's a classification. So if you are asking in your audio about to order the things, list the things. You are going to separate the information. You are going to separate the ideas. So these are the different types of the comprehensive listening skills. So now thing is that these things you are not going to memorize. These things must be in practice. So I'm sure this will help you a lot. And I'm working on this document, and this document will be shared shortly and as soon as possible. And the most important thing, I'm working on the important terms. And these terms you can consider as questions. You have to go through it. So I'm trying to give you the maximum number of the terms. And these terms are very useful. Just go through it, and I'm sure it will help you a lot. So guys, thank you so much. And watch the full video, please. Drop the comments. If it is useful. Thank you so much. Regarding my the community tab, there's a everyday information. I'm communicating through messages. Please go through. And there's a paid content for the teachers. I'm working with many teachers to provide these resources and instructions. So stay blessed and good luck all of you, please.